It seems like every semester I get more students coming up to me and they're like, I want to be a pen tester. I want to be a pen tester. Where do I begin? Well, today we're going to talk about those top 5 tools. And of course, I'm not going to include Kali Linux in there. I think Kali Linux by far and wide, it's just an operating system, not really a tool. And most people understand that. So let's start with number 1, or I should say number 5 in this case, Nmap. Nmap is Network Mapper. It allows you to go through and develop or understand your network topology, what open ports and services are running. It's simple to use, very, very cut and dry. I've got a video on it if somewhere in my channel, I'm sure. Maybe I'll throw it in the link. But Nmap would be number 1 by far and wide, probably the first one that you should learn to utilize, even if you're even somewhat thinking about ethical hacking. That brings us to number 2, Metasploit Framework. I think this is another great one, right? It has all kinds of vulnerabilities, or I should say exploits for vulnerabilities. It allows you to learn how to use those exploits. It's a very simple to easy to tool. It's almost like this kid-friendly, script kiddie kind of version of ethical hacking, but don't discount it. It's got a lot of valuable information in there, and it can allow you to use other tools within it. And so Metasploitable Framework, definitely something that I would use, or definitely it would be on my top list. Number 3, John the Ripper. Password cracking for Unix. It can work on Windows. I have a video on it. It goes through the process of how to hack into it. You utilize a word list and allows you to go through and really just crack passwords. I think that's probably the number 1 tool that most people want to use right off the bat, because it really comes into play and says, oh, this is hacking. I'm breaking into something from an ethical standpoint. And so definitely a tool I would learn to use right at the bat. I think that brings us to number 4, Burp Suite. Burp Suite is a web vulnerability scanner and testing tool. You can do SQL injections with it. You can bypass logins with it. It's just got an enormous amount of value to it, and it's free for most of its features. But it's definitely something that I would partake in. It's definitely something that I would learn right off the bat. If you're going ever to Vulnhub and you want to pull a new machine, Burp Suite is just one of those amazing tools that you should know how to use. My last one really is kind of a toss between. I like Nikto. Nikto is great because it's a open source tool. It's command line interface. But I like OWASP Zap better, and they do kind of a lot of the same things. And so OWASP Zap, definitely something I would utilize on my top 5 as well. Very easy to utilize tool. It's got a graphical interface, and again, I've got a video on it. So that's it. That's my 5 tools that I would use or learn how to use if I was really trying to get into ethical hacking. That's where I would start if I was you.